So today we are starting this class. I welcome you all to be here. I hope you can hear me. Yeah. So if you can hear me, just say hi. Say hi into the chat box. You can type hi into the chat box if you can hear me. So the class is starting immediately, and then others will be joining us. Okay. I could see that you have sent reminders. No problem. So let's start. So we're not going to spend too much time. Those that will be joining will be meeting us using it. So I do not want to waste your money. So what we want to discuss today is an aspect that actually concerns our class in a research methodology class. We need some statistical analysis in determining uh, making decision or making inferences on a set of data. So we want to start, from the basics, the little mathematical calculation that will be needed. We are starting from the basics. So today we are going to talk about group mean and variance. Group mean and variance. So I'm typing that into the chat box. The topic is group mean and variance. Group mean and variance. Okay, that's the topic we are handling today. Those are the two parts. Now, all of you know what group mean actually indicates. When we talk about group mean, we are talking about the average, arithmetic average between a set of numbers, and that is what a group mean is all about. Okay, so when you have a set of numbers and then you need to determine the mean, what you do is to add all the numbers together and divide by their number. For instance, if you have five numbers, we add the five numbers together, then divided by 5. Okay? And that will give us the group mean. That gives us the group mean. Now, excuse me. Now, the group mean can be easy sometimes for some set of numbers, and sometimes it may be a little bit tasky to calculate. For instance, when you have decimal numbers that have decimals with them, then you must be careful in order not to make a mistake. Or sometimes when you have a large number of data sets, for example, you can have 50, 20, 40, 50, or more than that. You have to be careful in your calculation so that you do not make a mistake. But the principle remains the same. And the principle is that you add the numbers up and divide by their number. How many are they? Which is termed as n, small letter n. That is the number of the data sets. And that is how to determine the mean. Now, the mean is essential in calculating so many other things, determining so many other various parts in statistics, such as variance, standard deviation, p-value, chi-square, and the rest, and the rest, and the rest, t-test, f-test, and the rest. All of them will require that you determine, the mean, or let's say most of them. Most of them will require that you determine the mean of the data sets. So please, as you are joining this class, don't forget to give a like to the video, give a like and then subscribe to the channel. To subscribe, just click on subscribe button on your device. You may need to log in with your Gmail into the YouTube. It is same Gmail, email and password that you will use to log into your YouTube, and then you can click on subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and give a like. Click the like button, you will see the thumb up. That is the like button. Once you click the thumb up, then you will like the lecture. So don't forget to do that. Now let's move on. We are discussing about group mean. Mean is the normal average, arithmetic average that we normally calculate between numbers. But I'm saying that when you have a large data set, you must be careful in order not to make a mistake. You must be very careful, especially when the data uh, uh, are having decimal numbers or fractions, let's say fractional numbers, like 0.002, 0.012, 0.12, and you have them in large number. You have to be careful in order not to make a mistake. But the point is, the calculation is the same. The formula remains the same to determine the group mean. Yes. Now, mean is just the arithmetic average. Like I said, it's a stepping stone to many other calculations, such as variance, standard deviation, and so on and so forth. You will be required to calculate the mean. You'll be calculate the mean which you will need in furthering your calculation into other statistical aspects that needs to be determined. Today, we want to look at variance, calculation of variance, group variance. So I suppose you guys have your notes there. So I want you to turn your attention to uh, some parts of the notes where we have this, like in chapter 8, where we have the T test, the F test. You see in those aspects, we calculate the mean, we calculate mean, we calculate variance. So today, the two parts I want to examine is the group mean and the variance. Variance is calculated based on the mean. After you have decided what the mean is, now what you do is to subtract that mean, minor from a number among the data sets. For instance, if you have data set as one, five numbers, if you add these five numbers together, you will have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. If you do that, 1 plus 2, that's 3, plus 3, 6, plus 4, 10, plus 5, 15. Now, 15 is the total sum. Divide that 15 by their number. They are 5 in number. 15 divided by 5, we have 3. So 3 is the mean, is the group mean. Now, this group mean will be needed to calculate the variance. It's needed to calculate the variance. When you want to calculate the variance, what do? You will use this value that you know, which is actually the mean, to determine the variance among the data sets. So that is what we want to demonstrate. Although I will not be able to write on the screen for you on the whiteboard that you are seeing behind me. Because if I should write on that whiteboard, it's going to be inverted, you will not see it properly. But what I'm going to do is to explain it verbally, hoping that you people should be able to understand. There's a formula for that. Now, for calculating variance, we represent variance as S squared. S squared. That is the symbol for calculating that we use to represent variance. Now, that S square is equal to summation of a set of values divided by the total number of the data set minus 1. The total number is n, so you subtract 1 from that n. If they were 5, then you're going to have n minus 1, 4. Now, the summation that we are going to use to divide this is the mean that you have. When you calculate the mean, you take that mean and subtract all the data sets, subtract the mean from all the data sets, subtract the mean from all the data sets one after the other. After subtracting the mean from all the data sets, then you square your answer. You square your answer. When you square your answer, the square of all the answers you get, then you add them up. That is the summation that we need. When you add them up, then you divide it by n minus 1. For instance, in the data set that I just used as an example, the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and their mean is 3. So to get the summation that we need, each number minus the mean. 1 minus 3. That is the first one. The second one will be 2 minus 3. The next will be 3 minus 3. The next one will be 4 minus 3. And the last one will be 5 minus 3. Each of these subtraction that you do, you enclose them in a bracket and then you square that bracket. So when you have 1 minus 3, the first one, you are going to get minus 2. That minus 2 squared, Then the second one, 2 minus 3, you're going to get minus 1. That minus 1 squared, that is minus 1 times minus 1. So you do it like that for all of them. So for the first one, you are going to have minus 2 squared, that is 4, plus next one, minus 1 squared, that is plus 1, plus 3 minus 3, that is 0, squared, plus 4 minus 3, that is 1, squared, plus 5 minus 3, that is 2, squared. So you square all of them like that and add everything together. In this example, if you are following me, let me know. Say hi in the chat box. If you are following, if you understand it up to this level, can you say hi into the chat box? Say hi into the chat box if you are following. All right. I want to see your hi, okay? Saying hi. Now, okay. Faloluwasegun, King Imite, Olashina Pelumi, Akinwumi Michael, Pedro Agbola, okay? I can see your eye. That's fine. So in the example I just gave now, we have 1 minus 3 minus 2 squared, that is 4, plus 2 minus 3, 1 squared, that is 1. 1 plus 4, 5. Then the next one will be 0. The next one will be 2 squared. And the last one will be 5. That is the fourth one. The fourth one will be 4 minus 3, 1 squared. Then the last one will be 5 minus 3, 2 squared. That means we have 4 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4. That's giving us about 10. So the total summation is 10. Now that 10 divided by any minus 1, the any is equal to 5 because we have 5 numbers. So 5 minus 1 is 4. So we are going to have 10 divided by 4. Are you with me? 10 divided by 4. Okay, that's fine. I can see Samuel Olatubosun saying I. Busarisa Mod, I. That's fine. So 10 over 4 will be 2.5. That is just a verbal, explanation of how to calculate variance. I am, limited in the way I can explain it because I don't have board to show you and I cannot show my screen since it is not like a Zoom class. This is just a YouTube live to show you and I cannot show my screen since it is not like a Zoom class. This is just a YouTube live stream. I don't have necessary equipment to be writing so that you can see it on my screen. And that's why. So you bear with me, okay? All right. So we have 10 divided by 4. That is 2.5. So in this case, the variance of those numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The variance of those numbers is 2.5. Now, can somebody, does anybody have a question? Does everybody understand that? Does everybody understand that? Okay. All right. Let me do something. Let me take your attendance. I want to see your matric number typed into the chat box. So let me take attendance here. Matric number, type it into the chat box. And then if you have any question, what we just discussed, if there's an aspect that is not very clear to you, you can ask me a question in the chat box. Then I will respond by answering it to the entire, live class. All right, class. All right. So type your matric number, then I will record it here. So that is how to determine the group variance, the mean and the group variance. You will realize that it is the mean that is being used now to determine the variance because each number minus the mean, then whatever you get, square it. Do it for every number like that. Then you add them up. You add all the values you get after squaring, the answer. Okay, I can see your matric number on the screen. That's fine. I can see your matric number. That's fine. I'm going to record it with your name because I'm taking screenshot like that with your name. so that nobody will say, I didn't, mark my attendance. So that's fine. Now, if you understand what I've explained so far from a mean and then the group variance, I want you to just indicate by typing yes. Indicate by typing yes after your matching number now. So the next thing you want to type is saying yes. If you really understand, type yes into the chat box. Okay, okay, all right. Somebody said yes here. Somebody has said yes.